All right, this should be entertaining. Speaker Pelosi will be sitting right behind President Trump at tomorrow's State of the Union address. But President Trump is putting her front and center when it comes to blame at the crisis on our southern border. Let's take a look.
She's costing the country hundreds of billions of dollars, because what's happening is when you have a porous border and when you have drugs pouring in and when you have people dying all over the country because of people like Nancy Pelosi who don't want to give proper border security for political reasons, she's doing a terrible disservice to our country.
It's all part of his message about Democrats that the president put out on Twitter last week, writing, quote, Democrats are becoming the party of late-term abortion, high taxes, open borders, and crime. Here was reaction to all that and more. I can't believe this is the first time I've ever interviewed her in person, is Sarah Sanders. It's great to be in the swamp. Well, let's start with immigration. What fascinates me the most is all the Democrats that supported just a few years ago with Obama president building a wall, funding the building of a wall, and sounding just like President Trump.
It's complete and total hypocrisy. I wish that I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. The Democrats have been for a number of things, not just on immigration, but across the board, whether it's trade, infrastructure. And the question is, will they decide at some point they love our country more than they hate this president? And will they be willing to actually focus on what they were elected to do, come here, solve problems? And they're going to have to decide to work with the president in order to do that.
We got 90% of our heroin, fentanyl, killing hundreds of people every week, crosses that southern border, and the president wants to get every aspect of the border secure, including building the wall. They supported it. At some point, don't they own the problems associated with the southern border crisis?
100%. They have to, because they're unwilling to actually fix it. And if you're not willing to fix the problem, then you get to own the problem. And so far, we have seen no willingness by Speaker Pelosi and the Democrats to actually work with the president.
I've known this president well before he was president, well over a couple of decades, and he's kept pretty much every promise he's tried, and he fights. What I told people after he decided, oh, they won't even sit down, so we can't negotiate, I said, a change in strategy, you don't know Donald Trump. And I'm 99.9% certain the person that I've known for 20-plus years is fairly tenacious and unrelenting. And
I would strike that fairly part and just say very tenacious.
Yeah. And it's the certainty. I mean, he hasn't said it. If he has to, he's going to send the military down there now.
Yeah.
And they were putting up razor wire. What if that 12,000 caravan goes to an area that is not secured and they decide to just rush across the border at once?
It'll be terrible. One thing you can be rest assured is this president's going to follow through. He's done it on every single thing that he laid out during the campaign. He has been ticking things off of that list day after day after day. And this is one of the biggest priorities the president has. And you can rest assured that he's going to follow through. He's going to protect our borders. He's going to protect the people of this country. He's going to make sure that he does everything he possibly can under the Constitution and under the law to make sure he's doing his part in fulfilling that promise. All
right, so we have a big State of the Union speech tomorrow, highly anticipated. I would expect the president talks about success. The president lays out his agenda for the next 2 years and probably challenges the Democrats. Basically, what you said, do they hate him more than they want to work for the American people?
Absolutely. They have a job to do. The president's fulfilling his end of the bargain. It's time for Congress to step up and do their part. You can be sure the president will certainly talk about the historic success that he has had over the last 2 years, tax cuts, the economy. I mean, the economy is on fire. And that is a direct result from this president getting rid of regulations, pushing through the tax cut legislation, and continuing to promote ideas that in an environment where businesses want to come here and want to hire more people, wages are up, unemployment is down. You're going to continue to see the president push for policies that help continue the economic boom. You're also going to see the president call on Congress and say, look, we can either work together and get great things done, or we can fight each other and get nothing done. And frankly, the American people deserve better than that. And that's why you're seeing the president lead time and time again and call on Democrats to actually work with him and get things done.
Let's talk about the Commonwealth of Virginia, and very specifically the governor and now the lieutenant governor facing serious assault charges, sexual assault charges. Where are all those people that said, I believe?
Yeah.
Without any due process, presumption
of innocence. They only believe, I guess, those accusations if they're against Republicans. I think what is happening in Virginia...
Well, they bludgeoned Justice Kavanaugh.
Yeah, absolutely disgraceful what they did to him.
Yeah, and they did it to Clarence Thomas, Robert Bork, but in particular, almost every weekend, teenage girls were being drugged, and boys would line up in the hall and gang rape these girls, and this happened for almost every weekend. But nobody ever told a parent, a teacher, a policeman. It wasn't credible in the beginning. Now the question is, where are all those people that said, I believe, and if they don't say it, isn't that hypocrisy?
Certainly. I think what is happening in Virginia may be one of the most outrageous things that we've seen in a long time. Not just the most recent discovery of the yearbook, but also Governor's comments earlier in the, I guess, last week
infanticide.
I mean, literally making a decision that it's okay to kill a baby that's already been born. I can't think of anything more
after the birthing
or
process.
grotesque.
Remember, during dilation. In other words, the birth has begun. Oh, we'll deliver the baby, make the baby comfortable. The mother gets to decide whether the baby gets any medical attention, and then we'll have a discussion.
Yeah,
that's called infanticide. That's killing a kid, a soul, an individual that's born. That is the essence of innocence.
And that is the very opposite of who we are as a country. One of the greatest things about America is that we value life and that we protect it at every form. And the fact that you have these individuals who are supposed to be leaders of our country that are calling for these types of policies to be enacted, I think it's absolutely abhorrent.
It's grotesque. It's gruesome. It's evil. This isn't about an abortion debate. This is about infanticide. Great to see you in studio.
It's so good to see you, too.
We appreciate you stopping by. You have a hard job, by the way. I forgot to mention that.